Humans and dinosaurs are now going to be forced to coexist. These creatures were here before us. And if we're not careful, they're going to be here after. Welcome to Jurassic World.
James Cameron saw the first 3 minutes of this film and had to excuse himself to change out of his premature ejaculation genes.
So this sin is for the fact that James Cameron took the deep sea Challenger down to the Mariana Trench. Does this have all to do with this movie, you ask?
Absolutely fucking not.
Why is this asshole even startled here? They left the island completely unattended, right?
So in all your infinite wisdom, you correctly state that this island is overrun with dinosaurs, and yet still ask the question, why is he startled?
Are you out?
Marine One?
Marine One is the name of the helicopter that flies the president to and fro, not whatever underwater craft you're talking about here.
First of all, if you're going to be a snarky asshole, do it right. Marine One is the call sign of any Marine Corps helicopter carrying the president. An Air Force helicopter carrying the prez would be designated Air Force One, and so on and so forth. Also, this ain't America. Marine One is obviously referring to the craft that is in the water, as that's what Marine means.
What is that?
Well, considering you're squarely in the park that, at last check, contained a T-Rex, I'm gonna guess this is the smoke monster from Lost.
Ha ha!
This movie should have been called Scream 2, Scream Harder.
This joke should have never been made, but here we are.
We're gonna stall! Cut it now!
Given the fact that we don't even know these assholes, aren't we honestly rooting for the T-Rex here?
I'll take empathy for 200, Alex.
Premature celebration.
Pointing things out on the screen?
Wait, the Mosasaurus bit off the ladder and the guy, but it had no impact on the helicopter itself?
Still pronouncing Mosasaurus as Mosasaurus. Don't you watch any of my videos?
And not only that, but after seeing this happen, these motherfuckers stand around staring instead of getting the hell out of there.
I'll take empathy for 400, Alex.
Damn, I haven't seen CGI fire this impressive since 1997 Spawn.
Except that ain't fire, it's magma, and this is pretty much what magma looks like.
3 years after the fall of Jurassic World.
News position? Jura narration?
Hey Google, what is news position?
My apologies, I don't understand.
Okay, let's try Siri. Hey Siri, what is jura narration?
That's just some bullshit that Jeremy made up.
The US Senate has convened a special committee.
Does the US Senate have any jurisdiction here, though? Isla Nublar is right next to Costa Rica, and I don't think it has any American ties. Regardless, shouldn't this be a pretty international decision?
I admit that this is a minor nitpick on my part, but hearing that a Central American country doesn't have any American ties is kind of annoying. It's almost as if Americans don't realize that their country is actually called the United States, and that there are technically 3 Americas. Okay, technically 2. But really technically 3.
Our mission here at the Dinosaur Protection Group.
True story. The Dinosaur Protection Group was the original name of the band Dinosaur Jr. After that, they shortened it to DPG, then went back to the full name for 2 years with a new drummer, then changed the name to Jefferson Dinosaur, then Dinosaur Starship, then ultimately, and finally, Dinosaur Jr.
Not only is all of this bullshit irrelevant to this film, none of it is true. Dinosaur Jr. was originally known as Mogo, and then Dinosaur, and due to a dispute with the rock band Dinosaurs, added the Jr. So congratulations, you're stupid in 2 mediums.
Dinosaurs are living and breathing, but soon they're gonna have to watch them go extinct. Or not.
I am legit offended this movie is trying to make the let the dinos live side something I feel empathy for. F*** dinosaurs! They went extinct for a reason, fools!
There is no for a reason here. The dinos from millions of years ago died out because of environmental factors. Theropod dinosaurs are still alive today in the form of modern birds. So essentially what you're saying is, these dinosaurs, but the ones that I eat are okay.
If people like you make a difference, great.
This works.
You do realize that this is how politics work, right?
We cannot condone government involvement on what amounts to a privately owned venture.
Also, dinosaurs would kill all the humans very quickly, but I realize logic is not involved in these proceedings, like most congressional proceedings I've noticed.
You've made this same mistake in the last Jurassic World video. There are countless animals on this planet that have the ability to kill all the humans, and we put a shit ton of them in zoos for children to go and see. Do you want to see all the tigers, polar bears, and orcas go extinct too? Because fuck you.
So if we could access that system, our ability to locate and capture those animals safely would increase tenfold.
Discount Cerebro.
Jeremy makes a pop culture reference.
Why do all these damn Jurassic movies have to open with someone being talked into going to a dinosaur island? Or back to one? Is it because they only have the one story to tell and they just keep finding slight new variations for it?
The Lost World bucked that trend because Ian only goes to the island to rescue his girlfriend, and Jurassic World was a theme park where the main characters were all working.
You're just gonna let her die?
Well, yeah.
Movie should be over right here. Dunzo, finito, logic wins. USA! USA!
Relax. You're more likely to die riding on a horse than in a plane.
Oh yeah? Tell that to... Language not approved. Language not approved. Language not approved.
The guy that cried about Deadpool making jokes about sexual assault, making jokes about 9/11.
Movie thinks we're still jaw-dropped in awe at these same f***ing cliffs and waterfalls for the 5th goddamn time, and we are not.
By we, do you mean the staff at CinemaSins? Because you guys, nobody cares about your ADHD opinions. This is like saying seeing the pyramids at Giza for the 5th time isn't impressive. I'm sorry, but beautiful landscapes will remain beautiful, no matter how many times you see them.
Okay, look, it's possible the remaining dinosaurs did some damage to the facilities after the island was abandoned, but the movie's making everything look like it's been f***ing ages since anyone was here, and it's only been 3 years.
Dude, pay attention to what you're watching. The only thing that makes this scene look as if it's been ages since people have been here is the plant life that has overgrown most of the buildings, which is absolutely what untamed plant life is capable of.
These flying dino assholes remind me that there are dinos that can fly, and at least some of them would have bounced from Danger Island as soon as the volcano started rumbling. Sure, Costa Rica is about 120 miles away, but there are plenty of avian creatures that can make that trip without breaking a sweat. It's true. I Googled it and everything.
Since you're so adept at Googling things, Google this link that's on the screen right now. Go on ahead. I'll wait. Are you back? Okay then.
Also, Owen is able to outrun all these dinosaurs, who are running at pretty much the same rate of speed despite their size differences.
Says the dinos are running at the same speed, despite showing photographic evidence of that not being the case.
I don't want to on effects departments too much, because they're typically overworked and underpaid, but seriously, man, seriously.
There's a lot to be said about this not-so-great film, but the special effects are right up there with the best in the business. That's one thing this franchise never fails at, so what the fuck are you even talking about?
This dinosaur takes a break from escaping the exploding island to be a threatening dick to the humans, instead of just outright eating them.
Instead of outright eating them, you say? It's almost as if there isn't a dinosaur-proof bubble protecting them.
F***ing T-Rex Machina, again. Like, do something new, you dicks!
The outright, unabashed, shameless, impudent audacity of someone that continuously misuses the term Deus Ex Machina, telling someone else to do something new.
These two long necks back here look like their circular mouths are open, and I choose to believe that they sound like Mr. Bill. The volcano is erupting! Oh no! Oh no!
It's not funny! It's not funny, okay?
Owen!
Wow, in the middle of all this ocean and all these dinosaurs, Owen is able to track these folks down. And I'm just about done giving any shits about this movie.
Normally I would say, then just turn the movie off, cliche, but you and I both know that you're not going to do that, considering those sweet YouTube ad revenue dollars wouldn't be rolling in at the 6-minute mark now, would they?
Huh, sure was nice of the erupting volcano and the escaping dinosaurs to take a break and let these guys catch their breath.
Wait, what was that?
And let these guys catch their breath.
One more time.
Catch their breath. Catch their breath.
Catch the breath.
It's me, Mario!
You know, the back half of the island doesn't look half bad, and is probably pretty safe from the lava. Couldn't they have moved all the shit over there?
Jeremy thinks ash and lava only go in one direction during an eruption, and is also ignoring the earthquakes, extreme heat, poisonous gases, and pretty much everything dangerous about a volcano.
And thanks to Owen Grady's research, it follows human command.
F*** off. F***ing Blue barely ever followed Owen's command. His research, scientifically speaking, is a speck of dust from which you could definitely not genetically alter f***ing lab-grown dinosaurs to obey human goddamn commands, you f***ing swilling huckster of a movie.
Except that the Indoraptor does obey commands in this film, literally until it dies. Also, this is a science fiction film where they f***ing recreated dinosaurs using amphibian DNA. Literally anything is possible.
Their blood type should be close enough, but for carnivores with 2 or 3 fingers, no more than 3. I think there's one on board.
Dude just said in the previous scene that they got 11 species off the island. But sure, one of those 11 will have a blood type close enough to match blue. Sure, not even close to the biggest ass this movie has made so far.
You are aware that these dinosaurs are genetically modified, right?
And then they go to, apparently, one container and find the one dinosaur she was referring to, and who she did not mention was a T-Rex. Do I have this right?
How about paying attention for a change? When she said, "I think there's one on board," her face clearly inferred that she was talking about Rexy, which also means that she told the others off screen.
Also, the how notwithstanding, when did the Mercs capture the T-Rex? It was clearly on the run with Owen and the crew a few minutes ago, and there's no way they could get it before they left. Is movie saying there's more than one now? Cause I'm pretty sure there's always been just the one.
This is why I make this series, in order to counter the bullshit sins that your audience seems to swallow like a porn star. Rexy was captured while they were getting out of the ocean. The film implies that there was some time passage from when they escaped the gyrosphere, and you can clearly see they've captured Rexy in this scene. It was nowhere near a few minutes.
This movie proves my theory once and for all that unattended children are literally the worst.
I have a counter theory, but that would further make people who don't realize that these videos are jokes think that I hate your channel, so I'll just send you and they'll get the point.
Dino transfusion is an illusion to cause confusion, despite its inclusion suggesting a foregone conclusion.
F*** all this Dr. Seuss bullshit.
Wait, what the hell time is it? When they pulled into the dock, it looked like dawn, but now it's pretty much pitch black again. And Maisie got in trouble at the same time that they were digging the bullet out of Blue, which was definitely at night. But when Eli shut her in the room in California, it was broad daylight. So unless the sun moves in the opposite direction in the Jurassic universe, this is some dino shit.
This is hilariously, mind-bogglingly bad. First of all, Blue's surgery did not happen at the same time Maisie got into trouble. That's just you manipulating a scene. The people on the boat were near Costa Rica when that happened, and in your previous sin, you specifically mentioned that everyone had fallen asleep, insinuating that some time has passed. Lastly, saying this is dawn is stupid, as it's clearly dusk. You see, Jeremy, this is the sun setting in the west, and that's why the next act of the film takes place at night. Jesus Christ.
This is Lockwood's estate.
Okay, even more dino shit. Lockwood's estate is in Northern California. The crew left Isla Nublar, which is off the coast of f***ing Costa Rica, around dusk in a big-ass cargo ship, and it's only been a few hours since they left. What the f***, movie? What the f***?
You see, people rush to my comment section to tell me why I'm wrong for stating that Jeremy double sins movies, but this is undeniable proof that he just created a different sin for the exact same talking point. The only difference in this one is that he's now stating that they left at dusk, which is clearly wrong.
This little girl here climbs the walls like she's a goddamn Jason Bourne, and I'm in awe of her, but also not buying it for 1 second.
You mention Jason Bourne so much in these videos that I'm creating a new cliche for that. Jeremy has a boner for Jason Bourne.
Here's another movie that suggests if you want to sell a super high dollar item to a super small segment of the super rich population of Earth, it's easy to get them all together in the same room in a few weeks' notice. And anyone that ever planned any kind of basic homecoming or class reunion of any sort can tell you that's a lie.
I find it hilarious how you think organizing a class reunion for working class people is on the same level as getting super rich people together to do super rich stuff. Ever heard of the Met Gala?
Welcome to this extraordinary evening.
What? It's still evening? Did we literally skip an entire day here? And I thought Dobby the house elf was expecting the dinosaurs yesterday, so why didn't his buyer show up then too? Was there even an attempt to map out the timeline in this movie?
He's still trying to send the time of day. This is a triple sin at this point.
$10 million sold to the gentleman from Indonesia.
Honestly, $10 million for a dinosaur is the biggest joke in this movie. These things should be going for a couple $100 million at the low end. They are f***ing living dinosaurs. A condo in Manhattan costs $10 million.
On the flip side, I'd argue that $10 million for an ankylosaur is way too much. That thing is like the vanilla ice cream of dinosaurs.
The Indoraptor.
Not gonna lie, the Indoraptor looks like a little bit of a bitch.
What do you think drove Hamlin and Lockwood apart? Lockwood never had a grandchild.
So, clone kid? I mean, yeah, the dinos have always been clones in these movies, so it's not that big of a leap from a fake movie science standpoint, but from a storytelling perspective, it's not very original.
Yep, tale as old as time. The old clone kid whose grandfather is actually her father in a dinosaur flick. Classic.
Blue McLean narrowly avoids death by jumping away from a bad CGI explosion at the last second.
I don't know why you always think just pointing things out that I can also see on the screen is a sin of the movie. Seriously, What is your point here?
Of course we need to introduce toxic gas into the mix, because having the Indoraptor, the actual raptor, the mad scientist, the evil executive, the T-Rex, all the henchmen, and the still-burning house fire aren't antagonistic enough.
The point that you think you're making here is that all these other elements are attempting to kill the protagonist of this film, so why have another thing that's also trying to do that? Except if you paid attention, you'd understand that this gas is for the trapped dinosaurs, and the moral choice that the characters have to make later in the film.
How did the Indoraptor get on the roof, you might ask? Why did the Indoraptor get on the roof, you might ask? You, says the movie.
Except the movie showed you the Indoraptor climbing to the roof here, so you, says the movie.
What? Did she have to point the laser at Owen? Why not point it at the roof, or the other wing of the house, or a tree in the distance, or the moon? There is literally no reason to further endanger Owen's life once you use the laser point directive feature of the gun.
The Indoraptor was designed to kill living things. Pointing the laser at the moon or some other non-living object wouldn't do anything.
There's foreshadowing, and then there's, hey, you look at this shadowing.
Did Jeremy of CinemaSins just try to shit on a movie for being too in your face with foreshadowing? Future Birdman, you're gonna have to take over this video. I can't deal with that.
They're all dying.
Good. Let them die and decrease the surplus dinosaur population.
Good. Let them die and decrease the surplus tiger population.
At some point during the writing of this script, the two writers gave each other a high five over their freshly written Cabin in the Woods but with dinosaurs scene.
Oh, stop it. You clearly didn't understand anything about Cabin in the Woods, and it's rightfully considered one of your worst videos.
Clear. You press that button, there's no going back.
He says this instead of tackling and citizens arresting her ass. Hell, kick her. I don't care at this point. She is wrong. You must stop her.
Putting aside the politics of whether this choice is a morally correct one or not, weren't you the guy stating that the original movie was sexist? Allowing a woman to make a huge, world-changing decision isn't a good thing?
The next movie's gonna have to be Dawn of the Planet of the Dinosaurs, given how many of these got loose at the end of this one.
No, it's just going to be Jurassic World. Get it?
Half the trailer's best moments are literally part of a montage over-ending narration. Kinda makes me think you really wanted to make the movie after this movie, but were somehow convinced you had to show us the events of this movie rather than jumping ahead like the Apes movies or even the Of the Dead movies.
This coming from the guy that needs every single bit of a movie spoon-fed to him, or else he considers it a sin. You do not want exposition, you do not want show, not tell, so you do not pass go, do not collect $200, go directly to hell.
Oh, there it is.